start with Marcus on the right, other side.
It seems like we asked you this question all the time the last couple of years. I mean, no matter what happens today, your start's going to have a significant magnitude. I mean, do you think about that, and why have you been able to sort of be so consistent this time of the year for most of the last 2 years?
I feel like lately it's been a little more consistency with delivery wise, like I've said these past couple outings, and especially in the postseason. I mean, everything matters so much right now, right? I mean, we're game 5 right now. Wheels taking the ball and get one more start back home for the NLCS. So hopefully we can get this one today and get back home to Philly and get prepared for that one. But today's a big game too.
How about mentally? I mean, I understand you've made mechanical and physical adjustments, but you just seem to be pretty unflappable, even when things don't go right in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can control is the controllables, which is the delivery and most of where the ball goes. But once it leaves my hand, the results are out of my control. So, I've tried pretty much my whole career to understand that and to know that is out of my control. So, baseball is baseball. Sometimes you make a pitch and you get a bloop hit, it scores a run. Sometimes you throw a pitch down the middle and they pop it up. So you just never know with this game. That's why it's so beautiful. But the only thing I can control is the controllables. So that's kind of what I always think about and focus on in my routine leading up to a start, which kind of keeps me focused.
Jeff.
Aaron, at what point did you come to terms with that idea that so much is out of your control, and what exactly got you to that point?
A lot of ups and downs, successes and failures. Really looking deep into when I was struggling years ago. Went to the video room and really watched a lot of games, watched a lot of past games, and just really try to think about what's going wrong, what's going right, and take the positives away of what's going right and try to fix the wrongs. But there'd be times that I'd make pitches, but balls would squeak through holes, and I can't control that, right? So if I take those out and focus on the little things that I am doing right and keep my focus on that and have good work weeks in between outings and bullpens and keeping my body healthy, anything can happen. And if I stay on that routine and that regimen, that keeps me focused and positive. So the more I do that, the more I did that, the more it became easier and the more I enjoyed it. So that's kind of how over the years I've stuck with that mentality and ran with it.
Barry, up on this side.
Aaron, just following that up, did you do that with somebody, a coach? Did you have a team psychologist? How did you come to all that? Because as simple as it sounds, it's a complicated road to get there.
Honestly, I saw this article in Roy Halladay, what he said years ago. He said something like pitchers, will get caught up in the 7 innings or 3 runs or less all the time. And he always said that he controls the next pitch that he throws and tries to make that a quality pitch. So I kind of read deep into that, and it's true, right? I feel like a lot of times we do get caught up in having really good outings. Obviously it's good, but at the end of the day, for ourselves, what did we do good? And what's our main job? And our main job is to compete and to try to make quality pitches and to control the strike zone and do our little goals each outing and try to succeed in those.
In the back on the right.
I guess kind of along the same lines. I mean, you're a starter. You're used to sitting for 4 days and not having control of things. But how hard is that especially in a game like yesterday when you know every out's crucial, and in a game like today where I'm sure love to be a part of changing the momentum.
Yeah, crazy games past 2 days. Good hard-fought ball games by both teams. Obviously, didn't go our way for these past two, but that's how it goes sometimes. And we fought till the end. 2 heartbreakers, but we're right up in both of those. I just try to learn as much as I can on the bench. I love watching the game. I love watching our pitchers and what they do, and our hitters. We try to learn the opposing team as much as possible. I know I already pitched against them once, but if I can take anything away from one of our pitchers, what they did to a hitter or whatnot, I do that. So, not pitching every day, obviously, and being in the dugout, like you said, I just try to watch the game. I love watching the game and talking to some of the players on the bench that are watching too.
Jeff.
In that vein, Aaron, what do you admire about Zach, and what have you learned from him since he's become a Philly?
He's an ultra competitor. Obviously, seen him a lot when he was with the Mets, and then was pretty pumped when he signed over here. And from hitting against him too, a couple of times I knew what he had. Right, he had such electric stuff, not just his fastball, but everything else was really good. And to see a guy that has the velocity that he has, his 4-seam and 2-seam, and the way he pitches with that, you don't really see as much starting pitchers that do that in the game nowadays. So when I saw him and observed what he does, and in his bullpens and during the games, he really works on commanding the baseball, which is obviously important for a starting pitcher. But to command it, to have velocity that consistent, is pretty special. And to go along with those 2 elite pitches also has his sweeper now, his curveball, his slider, and his cutter are all great pitches too. So it makes him so good, and he's never gets too up. Obviously, if anybody knows Wheels, he doesn't show too much emotion. Nothing really gets to him, and I believe that's why he's so good.